Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keys here. It's 2017 and everything is changing. The world around us is evolving faster and faster. Technology is changing and therefore that is changing all of the rules. So here are my top 10 rules for bands, brands, musicians and everyone else of outdated rules. I don't know why I put my hands up like this now instead of at the beginning, but I'm gonna go with it. Rule 9, a song is 3 minutes. But why? Traditionally, a song would be 3 minutes, verse, chorus, middle 8, chorus, chorus, because radio would want that. And so in order to get on the radio, you'd have to play by their rules. However, we are now making music for our audience as opposed to making music for radio. So therefore, if you want to make a song which is 7 minutes or 9 minutes or 11 minutes, or you want to make a concept song which is 35 minutes, we are at the perfect time in history for you to be able to pull that off. So this doesn't have to be the 3-minute song. That was then, this is now. Go and be creative, go and do something different, go and break through the noise and do something that no one else is doing, and have a think about these rules like this 3-minute song, and you can do something different. Rule 8, an advert is 30 seconds long. Now, obviously, an advert has been traditionally 30 seconds because of TV and radio. And when I worked on the radio show, we'd have 3 or 4 minutes worth of advert breaks, which would be divided up into 15 or potentially 30 seconds. When you watch TV, traditionally adverts are 30 seconds because you get 3 or 4 minutes worth of adverts, and those are broken down into lots of 30-second slots. However, most advertising that's being done now is digital. So if you're advertising on YouTube, if you're advertising on Facebook, then if you want to have an advert which is 75 minutes long, you do that. If you want to have an advert which is 2 seconds long, you do that. This is more about getting the information across in the way you want to do that, as opposed to the traditions of having to fit what you do into 30 seconds. That is the age of TV and radio, and when it comes to advertising for you guys, those days are gone. Rule 7, your meetings should start on the hour. Why would that be the case? So many times when people ask me if I'm free for a meeting, it either happens at 1/2 the hour or on the hour. But technology has changed. We have alarms on our phones. We can change it to anything we want. We can have 15-minute meetings. We can have 8-minute meetings. We can have 13-minute meetings. We can have whatever we want to fit the stuff that we need to decide into that meeting. And we will get a hell of a lot more done if we stop thinking about meetings happening on the hour or half an hour, because it's dividing your time into slots, which you could get so much more done if you divided them up into the slots you needed. What's the point in having a half an hour meeting if you've only got 8 minutes worth of stuff to talk about? And let's face it, an alarm on your phone popping up and saying it's 16 minutes past the hour, you've got a 14-minute meeting now. If you can do that, you're going to fit in so much more stuff in your day. So stop thinking that meetings need to start on the hour. Rule 6, an album has 12 songs. Now, come with me on a journey. Traditionally, an album has around about average 12 songs because back in the day, which was a Wednesday, we used to buy our albums on vinyl. And on vinyl, there was 22 minutes worth of music on both sides. So about 45 minutes worth of music, which, incidentally, would mean you're holding about 12 songs. But then the vinyl went and along came CDs. And CDs were 74 minutes long. Now 74 minutes worth of music, you're probably gonna get 18, 19, 20 songs on a CD. How many songs did bands put on CDs? 12. And then CDs fucked off. And what happened next? Music just became in the ether. It just became around. It just became a thing. It's on phones. It's just in the air. So in this time where you can do anything you want, how many songs do bands put on albums? 12. The fuck's that about? You can do anything now. When it comes to an album, you can make an album with 3 songs. You can make an album with 195 songs. You have control when it comes to the amount of songs that go on an album, because Spotify is not going to tell you off and iTunes is not going to tell you off. This is about you selling what you want to your audience. So if you want to have 65 songs on an album, you have 65 songs on an album. This idea of single, EP, album, It's gone. It's old school, and it's just, we've only got it because it's tradition. So nowadays, 12 songs on an album, rule number 1, broken. Rule 5, you need to work from your laptop in an office. I've never heard so much shit in my entire life. With technology how it is right now, why is that the case? You will get so much more done if you don't have an office and you're working from your phone. Now, unless you are a video editor or a producer of music and you need to have a laptop, then that's just not the case. Now, back in the day it was, because if you wanted to actually email people and you had to have a phone and an email and everything was corded, you had to be in that place to be contacted. So we had desktop computers when they first came out, we had phones on cords, and so you had to go to that place and work from that place. Nowadays, we don't have any of those restrictions. We have a mobile phone that can pretty much be connected all over the world. On our phones, we've got all social media, we've got all ways of building relationships and networking and getting messages backwards and forwards to each other. You can be sitting on Bondi Beach, or you can be sitting in Manchester in the rain. Sorry, Manchester. Either way, you do not need to be restricted to one place. Rule 4, meetings need to be 30 or 60 minutes. That's just not true. Meetings can be whatever you want. You can have 2-minute meetings, you can have 5-minute meetings, you can have 7-minute meetings. But whenever someone asks me for a meeting, it always seems to be half an hour. Have you got half an hour? Have you got an hour? Can I book it in? The problem is, this is wasting time. So just like meetings don't need to start on the hour, they don't need to start for half an hour, they don't need to be 30 minutes, and they don't need to be 60 minutes. And also, they don't even need to be face to face. You can Skype someone or phone someone, get the job done in 30 seconds. Start thinking of your calendar and your diary as minutes and not hours. Rule 3, 9 to 5 is the most productive time. Is it? If you're a musician, it fucking well isn't, because you've been gigging until 3 o'clock in the morning. And this idea that you've got to work from 9 until 5 because everyone else does that is just bullshit. Because nowadays, I find the most productive time for me is when I'm on my own from probably 7:30 until 11 at night. I can get loads and loads done. And if I am emailing, or if I am Facebooking, or if I am sending messages, or if I am planning, all the things that I can do from anywhere, but that time is very, very productive for me. So this idea that 9 until 5 is the most productive time is a fallacy. And you need to get to grips with the fact that you can work to the time that suits you, your skills, and the times that you're awake. And if you are a creative and if you are a musician and you want to work until 2 or 3 in the morning, then do it. As long as you're getting the work done and the targets and the goals are being hit, then it's completely fine. Shut up! Rule 2. Gigs, or even any events, need to happen at a venue. Now, this is a big one that I get into trouble with musicians all the time, but think about it. It's amazing to stand on stage and perform to a bunch of people, but in order to get to that point, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and probably a lot of money to get people there. And it isn't going to get easier because venues are closing down. It's getting harder and harder to actually keep a venue open. So as that happens, we need to start looking at other ways that we can promote and do gigs. And social media is setting itself up perfectly for us to do these gigs. Yes, I can go and perform to 30 people in Brighton town, or I can perform to 30,000 people or 40,000 people or 1 million people if you're the Foo Fighters on your Facebook, in a rehearsal room, or at a place which you choose. And all you've got to do is the online distribution of the gig, the promotion, and then when you actually set it up, it will tell everybody what you're doing and everyone will share it, and it will be so instant. So it is great to be able to do gigs. It is great to go out on tour, but I would love to see more bands putting on gigs, especially for social media, because that is the future. And rule number 1, social media is a department. Social media was a department. Social media was a thing. It was something that businesses saw and thought, do you know what? We need this. This is a good way that we can push our message out there. But social media has evolved because technology has evolved. And nowadays, everyone uses social media as part of their day-to-day life. So social media is not a department in a business anymore. Social media is the business. Social media is the brand. It is building the brand. And if you hire some kid because they've got a Facebook to jump into their business and say, take over the social media for me. What you are doing is you are handing the brand, you are handing the keys to the Ferrari to that person and saying, don't fuck this up. And that is a big mistake, because social media is you. Social media is the company. Social media is the band, is the business, it's the brand. Social media is not a thing anymore. Social media is the thing. Thanks guys, so that's my top 10 outdated rules. This is a big one, so if you've got some comments, I would really appreciate them. Also, if you've got any more ideas, I'm about to go and do a lot of workshops talking about this stuff. I would love to know some more outdated rules. So if you've got any ideas, any thoughts, anything from you have to go to the gym for 1 hour or whatever those outdated rules are, because society has changed, because social media has changed, because technology has changed, and those have changed the rules of the game. If you've got any ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments below. Or if you disagree with me on any of this, bring it on. Let's have a chat. Let's debate this stuff. Otherwise, what I need you to do, as always, is subscribe to this YouTube, is subscribe to the Facebook. If you want to come and chat to me, Twitter's the best. It's just Twitter, Damian Keys, and we can just have a chat. I'm here to help, here to bring you value. So anything I can help with, give me a shout. Otherwise, keep it real. I'll see you guys tomorrow.